Most people think intelligent people enjoy being alone because they hate people, but that's not the truth. The truth is far darker than that. Highly intelligent people often isolate themselves because they see things other people don't. Patterns, motives, fake emotions, hidden manipulation, silent competition. And after a while, being around people starts to feel emotionally expensive, not because they are antisocial, but because their mind never stops observing. And that's where the loneliness begins. The strange part is, intelligent people usually start out deeply connected to others. As children, they observe everything. They feel everything. They notice tension in conversations no one else notices. They recognize fake smiles before they even understand what manipulation means. Psychology explains this clearly. People with high self-awareness and emotional intelligence process social experiences more deeply than others. Their brain doesn't just experience interactions, it analyzes them. Every word, every tone, every inconsistency. And eventually, this creates emotional exhaustion because when your mind constantly sees beneath the surface, ordinary social interaction becomes mentally overwhelming. This is why intelligent people slowly begin pulling away, not dramatically, silently, and almost nobody talks about this. Carl Jung believed that psychologically aware people eventually become strangers to society, because the more conscious you become, the harder it becomes to participate in superficial behavior. This is where everything changes. The intelligent mind begins to realize something painful. Most conversations are performances. Most friendships are conditional. And most people fear honesty more than deception. That realization changes a person forever. The first reason intelligent people prefer isolation is because they feel misunderstood. This is the part that hurts the most. When someone thinks deeply, feels deeply, and questions everything, they often struggle to connect with people who live only on the surface. They're told they overthink. They are called too sensitive, too quiet, too intense, too different. But what others call overthinking is often just heightened awareness. Most people never realize how exhausting it feels to constantly reduce yourself just to make others comfortable. So intelligent people learn to stay silent, not because they have nothing to say, but because they know most people will never truly listen. And after years of feeling emotionally unseen, isolation starts feeling safer than connection. The dangerous part is, once someone experiences betrayal while being emotionally intelligent, they never see people the same way again. Because intelligent people remember patterns. They remember inconsistencies. They remember the exact moment someone's energy changed, and betrayal affects them differently, while others move on quickly. Intelligent minds replay everything repeatedly, searching for meaning. What did I miss? Was any of it real? Why did I trust them? Psychology calls this hyperanalysis. After emotional pain, the brain becomes protective. It starts treating closeness as risk. And over time, solitude stops feeling lonely and it starts feeling peaceful because peace becomes more valuable than attention. This is why many intelligent people disappear emotionally before they disappear physically. First, they stop explaining themselves, then they stop reacting, then one day they stop showing up completely, not out of anger, out of exhaustion, because they get tired of pretending not to notice things, fake loyalty, hidden jealousy, emotional manipulation disguised as love. Highly aware people often carry invisible emotional scars from constantly adapting to emotionally immature environments. And eventually, the mind says, enough. The second reason intelligent people prefer isolation is because solitude increases clarity. Most people are terrified of being alone Intelligent people are terrified of losing themselves. There's a difference. Silence allows them to think clearly, to process emotions, to reconnect with their inner world. And in solitude, something strange happens. The mask disappears. There's no performance, no social pressure, no need to impress anyone, just thought, raw thought. Carl Jung believed that solitude is where people confront the shadow self, the hidden parts of the personality buried beneath social identity. And intelligent people often spend years exploring that darkness, their fears, their trauma, their contradictions, because they understand something most people avoid. You cannot heal what you refuse to face. And that journey naturally isolates them from shallow environments, because once someone becomes deeply self-aware, superficial connection feels empty. But almost nobody talks about the emotional cost of intelligence. The more aware someone becomes, the harder life feels emotionally. They notice energy shifts immediately. They recognize insincerity instantly. They see when someone secretly resents them while pretending to support them. And because of this, their nervous system rarely relaxes around people. This creates emotional fatigue, not physical tiredness, mental tiredness, the kind where social interaction feels like work, where small talk feels painful, where being surrounded by people somehow makes you feel even more alone. And this is why intelligent people often isolate after periods of emotional burnout, not because they hate humanity, because their mind needs recovery. The third reason intelligent people isolate is because they crave depth. Surface level interaction drains them. They want conversations about meaning, human nature, pain, truth, existence, but modern society rewards performance over authenticity. People talk constantly without saying anything real, and intelligent people feel trapped inside that emptiness. So they withdraw, not because they think they are superior, but because they feel disconnected from artificial behavior. This is why many intelligent people secretly feel lonely even when surrounded by others, because being socially accepted is not the same as being emotionally understood. And deep down, they know that. Psychology explains another disturbing truth here. Highly intelligent individuals often become observers instead of participants. They sit quietly in groups, watch people carefully, analyze behavior silently, not intentionally. Their mind just naturally studies human nature. They notice insecurity hiding behind arrogance, pain hiding behind humor, manipulation hiding behind kindness. And eventually, social interaction stops feeling innocent. It starts feeling psychologically transparent. That level of awareness can become isolating because once you see through people consistently, it becomes difficult to feel emotionally safe around them. The fourth reason intelligent people prefer isolation is because solitude protects their energy. Most people underestimate how emotionally absorbing intelligent individuals can be, especially empathetic, intelligent people. They carry conversations home mentally. They replay emotional tension internally. They absorb negativity without realizing it. And after years of this, they begin protecting their peace aggressively. That's when isolation becomes intentional, not sadness, protection. They stop answering quickly, stop attending unnecessary gatherings, stop chasing approval. And that's when other people start calling them cold. But the truth is, emotionally exhausted people often look emotionally distant. There's a difference. This is also why intelligent people become extremely selective with relationships, because they understand one painful reality. Not everyone deserves access to your mind. Some people only enter your life to compete with you. Some only stay while you are useful. Some secretly envy your emotional depth because it exposes their own emptiness. And intelligent people eventually learn this the hard way through betrayal, manipulation, disappointment, again and again, until isolation no longer feels like punishment. It feels like freedom. But here's the deepest truth of all: intelligent people do not truly want isolation. They want peace without pretending. They want connection without performance. They want honesty without manipulation. They want someone who understands the parts of them they cannot explain with words. And when they fail to find that, they retreat into solitude because loneliness feels safer than emotional deception. This is why some of the most intelligent people appear emotionally distant, not because they lack emotion, because they feel too much, too deeply, too constantly, too intensely. Their silence is not emptiness, it is overload. And maybe that's what society misunderstands the most. Isolation is not always weakness. Sometimes it is recovery. Sometimes it is self-protection. Sometimes it is the only place where a person can finally hear their own thoughts without the noise of everyone else's expectations. The frightening part is, many intelligent people spend years believing something is wrong with them because they feel disconnected from the world around them. But psychology suggests something different. Sometimes isolation is the natural response of a mind that has seen too much, felt too much, and trusted the wrong people too many times. And that realization changes everything. So if you've been pulling away lately, if crowds exhaust you, if superficial conversations feel unbearable, if solitude feels strangely comforting, maybe you are not becoming cold. Maybe your mind is finally protecting your peace, because intelligent people eventually learn one painful lesson. Not every environment deserves their energy, and not every person deserves access to their inner world. In the end, the intelligent mind does not fear being alone. It fears being surrounded by people who make it feel alone. And once someone understands that, silence no longer feels empty. It feels like home.